What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Hope you're still living, loving, and breathing sport. I'm Dom with the Great Man Sauce, and welcome to Double Coverage. And happy birthday, I think, Sauce.
5 years, mate. 5 years, going strong. Haven't missed a week. Week in, week out. Still here. Many content creators from the space come and gone. Disbanded. New form. Partnerships. But here, double coverage from day dot, from episode 1 to episode 260. It's remained the same. You and I. We've had a number of guests along the way. We've had a number of shows. We've had people pitch in along the way. So we want to say thank you to all those people that have helped in any way, shape, or form, first and foremost. And obviously, a big congratulations to us, Doma. We'll give ourselves a pat on the back. 5 years strong, still going, and still taking the absolute mickey out of people and giving lemons like we should.
Oh, we've made some absolute blunders along the way, and the ultimate one was HGA, that was
hand up.
But you know what, we did the right thing, mate. We didn't send the sub, we sent all the cards back to the people.
We were going to send another sub, and we actually turned around to people and we said, you know what, guys, don't waste your money. Here's your money back. Here's your cards. If you want to grade them, send it to Beckett, send it to PSA, send it to SGC. HJ are a waste of time. If you want stuff for PC and they're cool labels, sure, go for it. But in all honesty, that was probably the number one mistake. And we also learned a valuable lesson in that, Doma. Never believe anything you're told, even if it's straight to your face. As we know, Mr. Tyler Hitt, we thought he could be trusted, but like anyone in this space, you must be wary of them because at some point or another, they probably will prove you right for being wary of them. So
thanks, Chris, in the chat. He says, happy birthday, lads. Thanks, mate. Thanks for being a long-time listener as well. We appreciate your support, of course. John says, I remember your live stream when Melbourne had an earthquake.
We were live, yes.
We were. It was I'm pretty sure it was our watch party. It was a soccer game, that was for sure.
Yeah.
And we also had...
Doma, we're going to keep running, and you're going to get excited because obviously there's a big 12 months coming up of sport. Next year's the World Cup, so obviously we're going to have to reboot some of the watch parties along with the World Cup.
You know what we do to ourselves in the World Cup? Jeez, American times too. So we're going to get some good times to watch football games.
Yes, there will be.
But it will kill us in the process. But
the Aussies have qualified, so we've definitely got someone there to cheer on.
Now we need Gattuso to get Italy in there, mate.
Yeah, I was going to say whether the Italians make it in, who knows? But the Australians are there, and it's going to be a big 12 months for the channel. Obviously, we need to get some more guests on. Something that we definitely worked on, and definitely something that we're hoping to evolve in future hobby hangouts or shows and setting up, a booth there and doing live interviews from there and stuff like that. So it was unfortunate that our, hobby hangout IRL live didn't go to plan. I think next time, Doma, we'll have to rethink that. I think we can still do the live. We just maybe need to make sure that we're hooked up to the Wi-Fi and maybe not relying on our, internet when,
still got it.
5,000
still got 175 views somehow. So,
and we were able to do the full 40 minutes like we had planned, and we had little skits planned to go to this store and make a bit of fun of them, and we were giving away cards. I had my hoodie, jack pocket at the front was full of Charizards to give away to kids, and also packs and everything. So it was just unfortunate that we couldn't get it done. But don't worry, there will be another time. There'll be another show, and I'm sure we can try do something else. And I think probably it would help if I need to set up another device and have just a streaming device, because it probably didn't help that someone was trying to call me about 50 times while Doma was doing the live.
Yeah.
So who knows?
it's been great, mate. 5 years, obviously. If you're new to the podcast, but long time listeners, Saucy and I have known each other for God knows how long, over 25 years, that's for sure. So, it's been good 5 years doing something, and it's a good catch up for us as well every week, talking shit before we get on the. Sometimes we're in the back in the green room for an hour before we even come on, talking absolute rubbish. Like we are solving the problems of the world. And if we were to tell you, we would fix planet Earth, but we just keep that to ourselves. So, but yeah, it's been awesome, and everyone that's been along for the ride has made it so much fun. And we show up every week, not just to give our takes, but also we know that there's a lot of people that listen to the show that it's a bit of an escape for them for the week, and they just want to hear just some ramblings and hot takes and just have a laugh and just taking the piss out of people. And that's what we're here for, to give some comedic relief, but also have one of the greatest hit rates of predictions, which I'm going to start with one of them, Source, because did we not say that Oklahoma could win this 4-2, this series? And did we not say that J-Dub would have a 30 plus or a 40 piece in at least one of the games?
Yeah, he did it today.
It
was a big performance. They never were losing that game. Similar sort of situation as in a lot of other games. They made it sort of a game of it, but they steadied a lot better in this one, and then they were able to get the job done in the end. So yeah, look, SJ was enormous again. J-Dub was by far the best player there today. He was so efficient. Chet was hitting the boards hard. I think he had 11 rebounds. And then you had a bunch of contributions from, their bench. But what's disappointing, what you got to say is disappointing from a Indiana point of view is Halliburton. 4 points, bro. Come on, man. 4 points.
Apparently supposed to be the star. Lower leg injury or some shit. I don't know what was going on today. So he struggled hard.
All I'll say, Doma, is if they are to win, Siakam will get MVP again.
You reckon?
Yep. He's been the best player for them, in my opinion.
Surely they can't win from here. I think they need to close it out in Indiana. I think they have to. Oklahoma.
I'm just telling you, ladies and gentlemen, if Scott Foster is on the refs in the next game, I can guarantee you Pacers are winning it. Right? So they can extend it to game 7 so the NBA can make the most money they can make out of a final series.
You don't want to take that gamble, though, if you're Oklahoma. You don't want to lose in front of your home crowd.
That's what I just see happening. I think it should be 4-2, and obviously OKC is the better team. But what can I say? Look, they were good today. OKC, their defense was on point.
Yeah.
The amount of steals that they got.
When's the next game? Next game's on Thursday, I think.
Yeah, usually 2 days' time.
Yeah. So it could be all wrapped up and done by Thursday. No, Friday, 10:30 is the game. Indiana, 265. Gamble responsibly. Obviously, those markets will come in a little bit closer to the game, but very interesting. Very, very interesting. So, anyway, to watch this space, obviously we just touch over it because we covered the games last week, but they've just firmed up their position. Obviously, they're in the box seat now. Being 2-1 down, now they're 3-2 up. So, SGA's dominated. You got that big game from J-Dub that he needed. But he's been consistent, mate. He's averaging 30 in the series. So, it's pretty good. So, yeah, your boy SJ is almost. He's not a champion yet. You can't call it early, but he's right there. He's got one hand on the trophy, mate.
Yep, he's right there.
He's right there. So watch this space. Might have to do a quick video maybe on Friday. Put a story up. Just give our viewpoints on it. Once if Oklahoma win, we just do a quick bloody story of ourselves talking shit, congratulating him, hopefully saying we told you so. Put your money on on game 6 win. All right, let's move on to the AFL. I'll tell you what, these Thursday night footy games, the Dogs slapped the Saints by 72 points. What a complete, utter waste of time. If anyone thought St Kilda was going to be half decent this year, like, they are terrible. They're terrible, man. I can't believe how bad they are. So, yeah, they got spanked, and good to see Sam Darcy back out there for the Dogs,
yeah,
mate.
He was looking good, and their forward line looked much better and dangerous with him in there.
Jamara's coming back, apparently.
Yeah, interesting.
Do you reckon would you want him back? The way the team's humming?
That's a good question, because I mean, at his best form, he is, he would be in their best side. But
the rumor is that they could play Aaron Norton as a backman, but they will find it hard to fit him in there because obviously you've got Liam Jones, who's not even, I don't think he's getting a game at the moment, but the other guy is like Rory Lobbs there. So you probably can't play Aaron Norton back. I don't think that team works when you got all three of them there.
Too many tools.
Too many. It doesn't work.
Well, Darcy's in there 100%. The way he marks the ball above his head.
It's the future of the league. You can argue it's going to be him and Dacos. They're the faces. Like, he's very good, man. He's very, very good. So, yeah, they slapped them, 72 points. Nothing else to talk about there, just how good the Dogs are. And, well, not really how good the Dogs are. They played a bye. But how good Darcy is. He's a freak. Hawthorn get the 3-point win over Adelaide in Tassie, which is a big win for them. Adelaide kicked very poorly in the first half. They probably should have ran away with this game and had it dead and buried, but the Hawks persevered and they get the 3-point win. Then we had the Lions losing again to the Giants by 11 points at the Gabba. And Saucy, the hardest run home for any team from round 15 onwards to the end of the season is the Brisbane Lions. They have the hardest draw for the remainder of the season.
They'd want to switch up a gear because they are not playing good footy. They've been winning games, not playing their best footy. They got caught out on the weekend by GWS. A lack of pressure that they put on, and they were found out. Cadman, big game. He looks like he could be a potential star. He kicked 4 or 5 goals or something like that. Massive from him. And GWS needed that win. Let's not beat around the bush. They needed that win. They got to start building some confidence if they think that they have anything to do with the premiership this season, or even top 8, let's say. So yeah, good win by them.
Brisbane's next 5 source.
Here we go.
Geelong away.
Loss
this week. Port Adelaide at home.
Win.
Well, I don't know about that. You just don't know with Brisbane. Port Adelaide is being played into form here. Like, they're still shit, in my opinion, but who knows? Then they got Carlton here. Dogs in Queensland, and then they play Gold Coast in the Q Clash. But it's a Gold Coast home game.
Well, you can argue that they could. Look, I don't see them losing all those games, but they might go 2 and 3 in that stretch. Maybe even 1 and 4.
Port Adelaide source are 2 games out of the 8.
Yeah, their season's alive. Horny boy back on the weekend, had a tremendous game, 30 touches, kicked the goal.
He dominated.
I'm telling you, it's shit for you as North fan because you know
really care.
this is the true capability of what he's capable of at his best. You know,
all because he didn't want to get in an ice bath. And look at what's happened. Now, in all honesty, he's going to be a Jet and he's going to be like a champion of the game. And like speaking with my cousins and stuff, we're all North supporters, and we know that. That was the part that was so frustrating. We knew that we're potentially giving up a future champion of the game. Like it could be a future Brownlow medalist. That's how good he is. That like a player of that ilk, we're getting rid of them. That was the part that hurt the most. Yeah, like it is what it is. You live and you learn, and but yeah, they're looking pretty good, and Lions are struggling, so they really need to bounce back, mate. And like you said, they got to step it up a gear. This poor football is what they started last year with. This year they started how they ended the season. Everyone thought premiership hangover. No way, they're on top of the ladder. They're playing good footy. Yeah, there was a few rocky moments, but they've been pretty consistent. And then now they've just dropped off a bit in the last month or so, a bit rocky. So they've dropped to third now.
Yeah, got to pick up their game if it's toward. This is where you want after the buys. This is where you want to start picking up form and getting ready, leading into finals.
100%. Next game up, we had Geelong winning by 95 points against the Bombers.
I knew it'd be ugly.
It was ugly, very ugly. No comment. I think fair to say.
Mate,
you're playing we have kids, which is good.
A lot of young players in. We have our whole back line out. Yeah. Many experienced players out. What are we meant to do? It's disappointing to lose by 95, but there gets to a point, obviously, as a young side, you just sort of give up after a certain point. You've been there, Dom. I've seen it with North. They hang their heads, and Geelong did what any good team in that situation should do. They should beat you by 100 points.
Yeah, punish it.
So yeah, look, what can I say? Dom, we're going nowhere this season. Essendon is going nowhere. We cannot win the flag. So what is the point of finishing 9th, 10th? What is the point? There is no point. We got to hope that Melbourne keeps losing because we got their draft pick, and we keep losing, so we get another good draft pick. And that's it. We got to go to the draft. We need to, bring in players. And the sad reality is there are some experienced players on Essendon's list right now that the coach needs to make decisions on and decide to move them on and play younger players, because the thing is, they've been in the system 8 years, 9 years. We know what we're going to get out of them. Are they going to be there contesting when Essendon is potentially contending for top 8s consistently? I don't think so. So
fair enough. Yeah.
We're in this position here as a club where, in my opinion, where we there's no point making the 8 because we'll just get bounced in week 1, and there's no point making 10th, 12th because you don't get a premium draft pick. You're better to finish bottom 5, and yeah, that's what can I say? At least one thing I will say, at least he's deciding to pick young kids. Dylan Shields sitting there waiting. Could have played on the weekend. He's fit. He's playing 2s. But what's the point? Giving Dylan Shield a game. We might as well give the young blokes a game. We're never going to win that. Even if Dylan Shield's in there, Dylan Shield's going to make a difference to a 95-point loss?
No way.
Not at all.
There's not one player in the history of the game that changes a 95-point loss.
Maybe Gary Ablett would have got it down to a 60-point loss. He's a 30-point difference. Gary Ablett Jr.
Yeah.
That's about it. But that's about as good as it would have got. So yeah, look, it is what it is. I knew we would lose, and I put money on Geelong and made about $350. So win for me. Your team when you're that crap and have no back line. I had the line, had Jeremy Cameron to kick 3, and Max Holmes for 20. Thanks for coming, mate.
Gamble responsibly. And, I could possibly have wanted to do the exact same thing, but as a North supporter, for some reason, it was one of the best games of pressure football we played. Well, in the last 4 years, in my opinion. I think
had a
our
lot
rating,
of inside 50 tackles, I believe. I read
yeah,
a stat somewhere.
I think our pressure rating for the second half of the game was over 200 for the whole second half. So we're pretty good. We lost by 6 points. We came back. I'm pretty sure we had the lead at one stage, or almost had the lead, and I thought we were going to win it. We're all over them. And as I kept messaging my mates, I kept reminding them, as long as we don't let the opposition get to 80 points, anything's possible. Because North can't score more than 80. So 79 was obviously the the max we would have scored before we tap out. So, yeah, you know what? All in all, win one, lose one in Perth. We've sold it for the next 3 years. Overall, it's a win. We made $2.5 million. So we'll take it over 3 years. Shining lights. Riley Hardiman is a jet for North Melbourne. That's a shining light. Very good player. Another shining light. The mature age players in, especially Luke Parker, when the game needed a leader to step up, an experienced player, him and Darling banged 2 goals from outside 50. One a set shot, Darling played on and just banged one from 50, about 55. And it just lifts your team. And that's something we never had in the past. But we put together a lot better football game than what we served up at Bunbury the week before against West Coast, which was a disgrace, which Saucy happened to sit down and watch. You would have got more entertainment watching this game. So
I actually caught the last sort of 10 minutes of the game. I did see in that part you lacked a bit of composure. You had the front, you just kept bombing it outside 50. You needed a bit more composure. And these are things you'll learn as a young team and learning how to win those type of games. You had a little bit more composure, could have got a mark, controlled the ball a bit. Maybe got the ball down your end and got a few stoppages, repeat entries, and wasted a bit more time. Maybe that could have been the difference. You just kept, bombing it out, kept coming back. It was like a yo-yo. And in the end, the weight of numbers for Freo ended up, costing you. It fell to Jackson. He snapped it, and hit,
I think,
kicked the game winner.
The period we lost the game was when we let him kick 4 goals or 5 goals in 3 minutes.
What about this? What do you reckon about this? I did hear about it. I didn't see that. I didn't see
it was 150 gazillion infinity million % holding the ball. Like, it was Source, you were going to kick on the goal line. That's how much it was holding the ball. And you know me, I'm not one of those biased North Melbourne supporters. And the game wasn't on the line when it happened. But if you look in retrospect, we would have drawn the game if he pays the free kick. Like, and you could say, oh yeah, but there was other free kicks. Yeah, but there was no other free kicks on the goal line.
Correct.
So it was 100% on the ball. It was an absolute disgrace. Even the commentators were like, what is this call? They're like, how is that not on the ball?
He's investigating the umps,
Magda, get it sorted. But anyway, good showing by North. I was proud of their performance, especially after all the shit that they served up the week before. So they actually played a few more quarters than just one. The next game, Port Adelaide defeated Melbourne, which we discussed. And then West Coast get done against Carlton. The bye was Collingwood, Suns, Sydney, and Richmond. The games this week. And he come out tips Thursday night. Dockers versus Essendon in Perth.
Dockers.
Yep, I'm going Freo as well. Geelong versus Brisbane, GMHBA.
Geelong.
I'm going Geelong too, Saucy. Carlton versus North, MCG, Saturday, 1:20.
Carlton.
I'm going to tip North.
Ooh.
Because if
you can win it.
Because if we beat them, Sauce, we are. If we beat them, We're 6 points behind them on the ladder. And we can't let them win because if they beat us, they'll be almost in the 8. And you know where I stand on that. Can't have that happening. Then we got Port Adelaide versus Sydney in Adelaide.
Port Adelaide.
I'm also going Port. They're in good form at the moment. Collingwood versus St Kilda at Marvel. Oh, this is a danger game. Fuck. I'm going Pies as well. You know I can't tip against them. And then this Sunday game.
St Kilda, let's be real.
I'm not tipping them. If they win, they win. Good luck to them. I am not tipping them. Sunday, Giants versus Suns in New South Wales.
Yeah, good game.
This is actually a tough tip.
Big win last week.
I'm
Giants.
back in GWS.
Typical of Giants, though, they would have a big win, then have a lackluster performance.
Yeah,
that's been their season this year.
Yeah.
So for that case, I'm going to go the Suns.
Oh, you're going Suns. I've gone Giants. Dogs versus Richmond at Marvel, last game of the round.
Dogs.
Yeah. The buys are Adelaide, Hawthorn, Melbourne, West Coast. Very nice.
Last round of buys, isn't it, Doma?
Last round of buys. Yeah. That's good. I like that.
Your opinion on the buys? Should they just do 2 buys or not spread it over three rounds?
I don't know what's going to happen when Tassie comes in, if they do come in, because you can have a buy every week with 19 teams in the league. So they better start finding the 20th team quick smart.
True.
Maybe you might have opening round format for the whole season. You might have 6 teams play 1 week and 4 teams play the next week. You never know what you're going to get with the AFL these days. So at that stage, mate, there'll be a Le Mans round, that's for sure. All right, let's have a look here. Next one up, FIFA Club World Cup. Group A, currently Al Ahly, Porto, Palmeiras, and Inter Miami, all on 1 point. They've all drawn. Group B, we've got PSG and Botafogo on 3 points, and then Seattle and Atletico on 0 points. Group C, Bayern has won the group because they beat Auckland 10-0. So they're on 3 points. And then Benfica and Boca Juniors draw 1-1. Auckland is last and they are out. And then we've got Flamengo and Chelsea on top of Group D, and LAFC and AS Tunis at the bottom of that group. Matches that have currently been played, notable results. Boca and Benfica 2-2, 2 red cards in that game. PSG 4-0 over Atletico. I'm telling you, I have to change my tone. Right here, right now. Dembele is going to win the Ballon d'Or.
You reckon?
Yeah, they're going to win the Club World Cup, mate. Their team is unbelievable. It's either them or Bayern Munich. Like, I know I always bag the shit out of them and it's Farmers League, but they're that good. No, they're that good. Their system's that good. The players in that team are that good. They've just got it worked out.
They've got destroyed Atletico Madrid 4-0.
They've got no out-and-out superstar source that is the main focus. I think it was very much like those Hawthorn days where Hawthorn became Buddy conscious. They kept trying to kick the ball to Buddy, very much like PSG. Give the ball to Mbappe, he'll do it. Now it's just pure cohesion. Their players are great football, as a great side. Yeah,
Kvaratskhelia could be one of the signings of
all time for that club.
I don't know why Napoli let him go. He's, I mean, I do know because Napoli is that type of team. They always sell off their big players when they, make good money on them. They bought him for relatively cheap. That's what they sold him off for. But yeah, PSG are looking good in the tournament. Notable teams to still play. You've obviously got Real hasn't played, Inter Milan hasn't played, Man City hasn't played, Juventus hasn't played. So there's a few teams there that still
a few games.
Dortmund hasn't played. So
a few games coming up. So we've got Dortmund Fluminense tomorrow, River Plate Urawa Reds tomorrow, Ulsan versus Mamelodi, Monterrey versus Inter. That's at 11 a.m. tomorrow. That's a great time if you want to watch Inter.
Yeah.
Thursday, Man City, Wydad, and Real Madrid versus Al Hilal. That's a big game. Pachuca versus Salzburg and Al Ain versus Juventus. They're all the Thursday games. Then Friday, we got Palmeiras, Al Ahly, Inter versus Porto, Seattle versus Atletico.
Miami, that is. Not
Inter Miami. Yeah, sorry. PSG versus Botafogo. I'm just going through the games leading up to, well, it's pretty much going to end the whole first round before our next podcast. Then we've got Benfica, Auckland, Flamengo, Chelsea, LA versus S Tunis, Bayern versus Boca, Mamelodi versus Dortmund, Inter versus Urawa, Fluminense versus Ulsan, and River Plate versus Monterrey. They're the Sunday games. I think there's a few more, but we'll be here forever talking about them. So, yeah,
tune in, ladies and gentlemen. I will say this: anyone, and if you don't know, if you actually have a Hisense TV, because they're the official partner, I've got a Hisense TV. You can make a DAZN account for free, and you can actually watch the games live for free. Now, if you catch it live, they don't let you watch the replay. But if you have a Hisense TV, if you don't have a Hisense TV, obviously it's on KO, it's on Binge if you've got that. And then if you don't have either of those and you still want to watch the games, don't worry, there is a way. Just you'll find it. And if you can't, message Toma.
Due is so good. Vitinha is a good player. Yeah, mate, their team is very, very good. Andy, welcome. He says, got to be happy with the Chelsea win. Yeah, you would be. That's for sure, mate. Yeah, but Magda, it's not really the biggest indication. They played Auckland.
Mate, they played Auckland. Those players literally have other jobs. That's how they're semi-professional. They're not even professional. They're semi-professional.
Source, can you just give me, like, I know that outside of like the top 5 teams, top 6 teams in like the Saudi league, it's rubbish. And like a couple other teams are pretty good. But what's your thoughts on the MLS teams? Because you were not impressed.
They're shit. They are shit, rubbish. And not one of them will qualify. I'm telling you, Inter Miami will not qualify. They're rubbish. Not one of them will qualify. Los Angeles, this is what I keep Seattle.
Saying. I can't really talk about MLS on this show because it seems like I've got a conflict of interest because obviously the other guy plays in the Saudi league. So when Source can come out and say it makes me happy because it is rubbish. It is genuinely rubbish. Everyone bagged Ronaldo for going to like the Saudi league and Mane going there and Benzema. Mate, they went there for money. When you're getting tens of millions of close to $100 million a year, mate, they went for money. And the league is a lot better than that shit. It's got top talent everywhere. All the best players are on 2 teams in the MLS. It's trash. It's actually rubbish. It's rubbish to watch.
Did you see Messi cracking it at the referee? Got a yellow card after the game because he was going off at the referee.
I'm not worried about Messi, man.
Because he didn't get the same calls like he got in the World Cup a few years ago.
Yeah, I'm not worried about Messi. He retired the moment he went to the MLS, as I keep saying. He retired when he went there. So, yeah, no comment. So, yeah. Anyway, I don't know if you saw Speed was at the Club World Cup. It was very funny. He's so funny. Yeah.
I haven't.
He got snubbed. He got snubbed by Messi. I'm not joking. Messi was like shaking everyone's hand, and Speed's like Messi, and he just walked past him
because he knows who he is. Because he knows he likes Ronaldo.
He knows who he is. 100% he knows who he is.
That's actually good for Messi, though.
Yeah, but well, it doesn't help Speed when he rocks up to the Club World Cup wearing a Ronaldo shirt. So the next day when he was playing FIFA, EA 25, and he packed Messi, and he quick sold him straight away. That was so funny. He got me. He's like he packed Ronaldo. And in the pack that he got Ronaldo, there was Messi in the same pack, and he cracked it. It's like, why is it every time I have to go somewhere, Messi follows me everywhere? He goes, I hate this shit. And he just quick sold him. He got so upset. It was hilarious.
Yeah, I'm not surprised he's there because he just pops up everywhere, doesn't he? Speed. I'm
Mate,
not sure if you've seen.
he's
I'm not sure if you've
unbelievable,
seen
man.
the video of him. He versed that Hall bloke in a race, Ashton Hall,
yeah.
and he
And he
beat him
4 times.
Yeah, and the
He,
guy he was just like he didn't want to admit the defeat.
he's so funny, Speed. You a fraud. You a fraud. He's like, get the fuck out of here. You a fraud. I was pissing myself when I saw the clip come up, and I was dying of laughter. Straight to his face, calling him a fraud. It was the best. He's like, race again. He's like, race again. I already beat your ass 3 times. Speed. He's very funny. Anyway, there's plenty of football going on. The first round actually finishes next Friday, the 27th of June, before we get to the round of 16. So we'll be covering it a bit more on this show in the next few weeks. All right, what do we got next? F1 Source. Well.
We said it would happen at some point this season. We said it would happen. And it was the race, the Canadian Grand Prix. It happened.
Happened. We said that McLaren are going to get in each other's way, and it finally happened. They're the first of many. George Russell wins this race, followed by Max Verstappen and my boy Kimi Antonelli, youngest podium driver source. Unbelievable. So good to see him on there, the Italian stallion. Oscar Piastri finished 4th, but good news for Oscar Piastri. I know he lost 6 points on Max Verstappen, but he still gained 12 points on Lando Norris. Leclerc and Hamilton 5th, 6th, Alonso 7th, Hülkenberg 8th, Ocon 9th, Sainz 10th. The DNFs were Alex Albon, Liam Lawson, and Lando Norris. Yes, safety car came out on lap 67 of 70. He went to overtake Oscar Piastri, and
he ran into the back of him.
He ran into the back of him. He clipped the back of him. The whole wing came off, stuffed his front left, and that's it. He got 0 points. So Piastri just extends his lead by 12, and Verstappen gains on Norris by 18. And
Lando. You, sir, are a lemon. Lando. What are you doing?
So there's no race next week. There's a week off, and then the Austrian Grand Prix is on the 29th of June. But F1 World Champ rankings.
Nobody talking about the groundhogs just chilling next to the track. Someone need to pull out the rifle, mate, and get rid of him.
Brett. Now, this is very Lamondo Norris. That's great.
Good one, Brett. Seriously, I watched the replay of it, and Piastri defended it well, and he just ran into the back of him. What was he doing?
He took a leaf out of Verstappen from the week earlier where he ran Russell off the road. Anyway, this is what the World Championship looks like at the moment, Source.
It's juicy because, you know what? 1 DNF for Piastri, and it's like...
game on.
It's game on.
It's game on. And I don't know, because we had that mini break, I don't know if these upgrades have actually helped the Mercedes. I don't know. It's too early to tell. And I don't know if these upgrades helped Max Verstappen, but they look pretty quick. Like Piastri couldn't get past Antonelli. In saying that, though, Antonelli did get him on the first lap, and he maintained that position the whole race. So time will tell. There's one thing I can tell you guys, that the Ferraris absolutely suck. And now the rumor is that Leclerc's leaving at the end of the year. Like, there's a lot of stuff circling at the moment. Leclerc leaving. The rumor on the street is if Max Verstappen comes back and wins this World Championship, he'll retire. I don't think that shit's going to happen, mate. He has potential. We've said it on this show many times. If you want to know who the GOAT is, I know everyone keeps saying it's going to be It's Lewis Hamilton next in line to Schumacher. The GOAT is in the Red Bull #1 car from the Netherlands. That is potentially your future GOAT. And you're watching him race every single week. That's the guy. There's no point beating around the bush. He is the guy. His talent is unbelievable. So, yeah, he hasn't had obviously the best season. And you got to remember, their car has sucked this year. It hasn't been that good. And he's still third, only 43 points behind Piastri for the World Championship. The next race is Austria, and it is the home Grand Prix for Red Bull. So it's a big one. Big one coming up, Sauce, in the next few weeks.
Vinny, how are you, mate? Good to have you in.
Hello, Vinny. All right, Sauce. Over to you for some UFC. We're flying through the birthday special, mate.
Let me close the tab or two because my Wi-Fi is showing me 1 bar, so I really hope it doesn't drop out. And if it does, I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. UFC. No, I've only got 5 tabs open. That's not much.
Also, just I should show this quickly, seeing as just before we do get into UFC, just a special at Fanatics Fest. Just a Fanatics Fest New York, which is coming up. Already come up. There you go. Just a special F1 box.
Release.
Fest.
Okay.
There you go. Okay. Just some stuff there. Just thought I'd just bring that up. Just came up in the feed. There you go. Anyway, over to you for some
UFC.
For UFC, yes.
It was fight night. Usman versus Buckley. Called it last week on the show, Doma. I said, don't count out Usman. How is Buckley so short a favourite? And Doma, was I right or was I right? Because Usman, as the underdog, $2.25 underdog or $2.60 underdog he was, plus 225. He smashed him, Doma. 137 total strikes to 51, 4 takedowns to 0, 41 to 45 significant strikes, 44. It was a demolition. It was a demolition over the 5 rounds, and won convincingly in the end did Usman. Rose Thug Namajunas gets back on the winners list with a win over Miranda Maverick. Edmund Shabazian defeats Andre Petrovsky. Raoni Barcelos defeats Cody Garbrandt. Mansour Abdul Malik defeats Cody Brundage. Alonzo Minefield defeats Omar Sy. Big win by the underdog there. And you had a no contest, Paul Craig against Rodolfo Bellato, because Paul Craig kicked Bellato when his knee was down, kicked him in the head. It was a bizarre thing. If you go watch it back, his knee was down. Paul Craig was on his back, and he kicked up with his heel of his foot, hit him straight in the head, but his knee was on the ground, so it's a legal kick. And it was considered a no contest because Bellato actually got knocked out from it. And he was like, you got to go watch the footage. I can't explain it. He was dazed and whatever. He was trying to cover up from the ref. The ref's telling him the fight's over, and he's covering up like this from the ref. And it's the ref that's in his face, not the fighter. It was bizarre. No. It was bizarre. It was yeah. So it finishes in a no contest. Then you had Michael Chiesa defeating Court McGee, and Malcolm Melmaker defeating Chris Montigno. Jose Oka defeating Cody Durden. Ricky Simon defeating Cameron Smotherman. Phil Rowe defeating Ange Lusa. And Jamie Lynn Horf defeating Vanessa Demopoulos in the women's division. And that was UFC Fight Night, Usman versus Buckley. Let's see if I go back here. Events upcoming this weekend, the 22nd, you have another UFC Fight Night. Jamal Hill against Roundtree Jr. This is going to be a cracker. 4th versus 7th. I'm going to go with Roundtree. I feel like Jamal Hill had his moment to shine. He needs to evolve his game. If he keeps, striking the way he does, I don't think he'll be able to knock out Roundtree. He's got some knockout power himself. It's going to be an interesting bout. And then you got, this is a great fight. Ignacio Bambabatis, I've talked about this guy a while ago. Chilean, he was, he's won his last few fights against Rafael Viziv. This is probably one of his biggest tests. I'm going to go with Ignacio. I think he can get the job done. Then you got Curtis Blades against Rizvan Kunyev in the heavyweight division. Tofik Masiev against Mybrek Oralabai from Kyrgyzstan. I have no idea how to pronounce that. I'll have to give that a go again. And Nazim Sadikov against Nicholas Mota in the lightweight. Mohamed Nayev against Bogdan Grade from Austria in the featherweight. And then your prelim card. Prelim card kicks off from 2 a.m. Doma. So I'm guessing this one's probably, where's this? It's in Azerbaijan, Baku. And the main card kicks off from 5 a.m. Sunday morning. So if you're keen as mustard, Sunday morning, tune in and give it a watch.
You can watch it with the Club World Cup games, mate.
There you go.
On at 5 a.m. So you can marry that up. It'd be very nice. A bit of sports watching. Beautiful sauce. Alrighty. Hobby talk. For the 5th year in a row. Here we go. Golden? Do you want to have a look at Golden?
Yeah, we'll have a look at Golden. I reckon
you might have to bring it up.
Yeah, I'll get it. Hang on, give me a second.
I thought of something just crazy. I was talking to Source about it in the pre-game pre-pod. I'll bring up a comparison so we can all do the compare. Where are we? Football.
Spring game used auction, is that what you want to have a look at?
Yeah, you can put that one. There's a whole bunch going on, I think.
There's a few. There's the weekly auction. There's the game used.
Look at this. This is a disgrace, mate. It's a pretty sick looking boot. Mbappe boots. Ooh. I'm just on Nike. I'm not on Golden, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to prove a point on something. Have a look at this sauce. Look at this. This is the Vinny Jr.
Okay, go on. Chuck it up.
This is a current boot that you can buy off Nike.com.au. All right, here it is. This is the boot. It says Vinny Fly on here, and this is what it looks like, rainbow stuff here, and all these colors, and it's a pretty sick looking boot. Yep. Very flashy. You want to be pretty good playing in these boots. All right. Here's the price: 420 Australian dollars. Now,
that's cool.
I can tell you, the quality of boot these days absolutely suck. I've gone through 2 pairs. Well, I'm still on my second pair, but they're destroyed. I should have bought another pair this year because they've got a rip in them. But I'm just persisting because boots cost so much. 2 pairs in 2 years. All right. Cost me $450. So if I was to buy another pair this year, and I was like, you know what, I spent $300 on my pair last year because I thought if I spend more, it'll last better than the $150 pair I bought the year before. I was wrong. So say I spent another $150 this year or $200. We'll meet in the middle, right? I'd be up to $650 Australian.
It's ridiculous.
All right. Now, I had this crazy idea. It's absolutely dumb. But is it dumb? If you go to the match-worn memorabilia and you type in boots, soccer boots, all right?
What do we get?
You might have to type in...
Hang on, let's type it in up here.
Yeah, type it up there because we'll search the whole thing. I had it come up before. You might have to go back home. Go back home to the main page.
Going back to the home page.
Yeah.
Search all lots and listing. Okay.
Yeah. Splendor, what's happening, bro? The KD King himself.
You got the Panini signature here. Ronaldo.
Yeah, that's actually sick. If you want to bring that up, you can. But just open another tab. Just type in I typed in Manchester United for them to come up.
Look at that. That's got his boot in there.
It's on card too.
It's 1 of 1. Enclosed match worn shoe material and autograph, I guarantee.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. It's a 1 of 1 as well.
It's a sick card, man.
That's an awesome card. Wow.
I would sell everything in my collection to have just that card. I'll be happy.
I know you would, Doma.
So if you type Manchester United, just type in Man United. That's how I got it up. Because there's Ronaldo jerseys. I just wanted to see how much they were going for. Funnily enough, if you type in Real Madrid source, there was a Roberto Carlos signed jersey at $14 on auction so far. So you can obviously it'll get bid up, but there you go. All right, hit down the bottom. There you go. Look at this.
Garnacho at $10, typical.
Hey, don't worry about that shit. Look at this. $100 Obviously, it's in US. All right. You click on that. I know they're heavy worn, most of them, but they're authentic. If you can find your size, I'm a US 10. Why the hell would I not rock around in Michael Carrick's boots?
Signed.
I couldn't give a
playing
shit.
Them, you reckon?
I'm playing them. The boots made then 100 times better in quality source. And you've got to understand, look how good the quality is for heavy played. These are professional athletes. I'm a hack. They could last me the next 100 years, those boots. Just imagine you went out there and you said, where'd you get your boots from? Golden.
9.5, Doma. Bad news for you.
They would have fit me. He's already stretched them out for me. Michael Carrick. They'd fit
There's
me.
the authenticity.
I'd make them fit. Can you imagine that? They go, where'd you get your boots from? They're retro. And you're like, golden. What's golden? Golden auctions. Oh, why'd you buy them off an auction house? Because my boots are Michael Carrick's boots, and here's his order on my boots.
And they'll be like, why are you playing with that, you nut?
And I'll be like,
because anyway, look at it.
Yeah, you know why I'd say I'm playing in that? Because I say even with the fees I had to pay in the shipping, it still cost me less than a freaking pair of boots off Nike.com.au.
Yeah, look, I wonder what these will actually go for in the end.
It'd be interesting. Like the Bruno Fernandes.
You're not getting, remember these ones? The total 90s?
You're not getting Rooney for less than 500, mate. US.
Look at those, the total
exactly
90s. Look how heavy played they are.
Yeah, we did kick a lot of goals. That's
Wayne
sick.
Rooney, 10. It's not signed or anything. It's just game more.
I claim
10.5. There you go, Doma. Made in Italy. The boot.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I'll go get my boots to be made in like. I'm not going to say a country. I'll just say it's made in a sweatshop. Andy says I've also got Carrick's sweat as well in my boots. Yeah, I got his foot odor. His stinky boots.
Dom, it won't make you play any better though. You'll still be a hack.
I'll still be a hack, but I still save $300.
Yeah, it's a good point. It's a good point you make. It's, why not? It'd be something different though.
It'd be it would actually be ridiculous. Anyway, that you can click into some stuff. I don't know what they got.
Go into the weekly auction.
We'll just spend a couple of minutes on this, ladies and gents.
Look at that. It's a good time to sell it, ladies and gentlemen.
I did see there's a fair few SGAs.
Very good time. There you go. The gold to 10. Oh, 10K.
I'll see if I can get on without it crashing my computer.
There's a few other ones going up here. SGAs.
Doma, where did you catch your tinea? All the way from Manchester. Michael Carrick. That's very funny. Inaugural music memorabilia auction. Wow. Hollywood props.
There's one with props. Yeah.
I'll look at that. I'll look at that if you want. If there's anything special, I'll let you know. They got the Harrison Ford Indiana Jones whip, $250,000, no bids. I know the auction starts in 10 days for these things. Luke Skywalker lightsaber from The Mandalorian. Shit, these props are crazy, man. What the F? This is crazy. Iron Man mask, 18K. What the mental stuff, man. You found anything else? Anything good? June elite auction.
Just having a browse through.
What's in the elite auction?
Not like I can actually buy anything off Golden, because I told you that time when I tried to go verify, they wanted to know your passport or some bullshit.
Any Metapoo?
I highly doubt it.
Oh, here we go. This is a great this is a great item. I saw this in the flesh source. This item. I think I brought it up on the podcast a while back, but I actually saw this in 2020
quite low
2019
price, on a lot of this stuff. So
this is 2019 source. Look at this. I saw this in person at the NBA store in New York in 2019. The 50 greatest players. That's signed.
Amazing.
It's got all their autos. Shaq's on there. Where's Jordan? There's Jordan. Everyone's on there. Barkley, Mikan, Fraser, Magic, Dr. J. It's pretty cool. They had it behind glass. I don't know if it was limited to how many pieces. I think there was multiple. There wouldn't be many. I don't know, PP1 edition. Is it a 101? That's pretty crazy. I actually got to see that in person, 101. It's pretty awesome. So it was a sick piece. They don't have that much stuff anymore. When I was there last year, I didn't really see much of that stuff. What's this? Net Pro Auto Golden Slam Carlos Alcaraz card. 25 bids. It is at $70,000.
What is it, Noah?
Carlos Alcaraz, 101. Gem Mint.
70K.
It's at $70,000. 85.5 with the buyer's premium. Crazy. Anything else? Oh, they got a lot of Josh Allen on here, mate. Get rid of Josh Allen. LeBron, Ant-Man.
Sauce, give a lemon to someone. I gave a lemon to Lando Norris for knocking to the back of Piastri and giving himself a DNF. He's 100% a lemon for that.
Mate, there's a Lewis Hamilton worn Vodafone McLaren racing suit on here. $7,500. George St. Pierre fight worn shorts. If there's anything you want us to type in, ladies and gents, let us know, and we'll type it in.
Weekly auction. Then there's obviously the. It's always nice to have a look and see sort of what stuff's selling for, and obviously stuff is still moving on a day-to-day basis. You've got the elite auction. Is that what you've clicked into?
Yeah, that's what I'm in.
I was in the weekly auction. You got the vintage auction, the game used auction as well.
There's that Ronaldo card that Saucy brought up before. That's nice. I'll bring this up, mate. Got to bring this up. This is a nice card. Messi card. Yes, I'm bringing up a Messi card. It's nice. Here you go. This is the last thing I'll show on my... this is just... How good's the QC? Fucking hell. I wouldn't be buying this, actually. It's a nice card. That's the card in question, Sauce.
Yeah, I know.
But look at this. Gold pen.
You can't allow that to go.
Look at this. Look at this. Look at the discoloration on the card. Can you see that? Yeah, you put some Kurtz Kumke, you fix it, but...
Yeah, we know that. Yeah, I got one for you here.
Player worn material.
Here you go. Cool. Game used, 1990 Michael Jordan game used, twice signed, inscribed Chicago Bulls Nike Air Jordan 5 sneaker.
Nice.
Here it is. Here it is, Doma. Got the inscription, signature. It's not the best as well. It's unfortunate because these demands to something, best wishes, Michael Jordan. Yeah, it's unfortunate because, like, look at the shoe because it's like not being worn since then. Look at it, destroyed. That's what happens, you know. That's why you need to be wary, ladies and gentlemen. Signed shoes from this era, the sole will always give out, because if you don't wear it for a certain period of time, you're not compressing that sole. There's many sneaker collectors that have literally pulled out sneakers that have been sitting in storage, and all they have to do is grab the sneaker, and at the sole they can run their finger on it, and it literally peels away like butter, like you're running your finger across a slab of butter. So, you know,
that's shit.
If you're paying that amount of money, I mean, this is already up to $4,250. Like, I know it's Michael Jordan piece, but why the fuck would you spend your money on something like that? Makes no sense to me.
That's fair. All right. You've got something for us. There's no Playboy stuff on Golden. I typed it in, Andy, or else I would have brought it up for Saucy. Saucy's got something special for our 5 years. We'll finish up on this.
We're going to finish up on this.
This is big. This is actually big.
All right. Doma, 5 years we've been running for, and I thought, you know what? Got to have something special for the occasion. The 5 year rip, and it is, Doma, I've had this sitting here for a while. It is the Tyson Beck Basketball Hall of Fame. I believe there's 2 cards in there. You can get a bunch of different guys. We'll see what I get, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm going to rip it here live for you all, mate. And hopefully I get something good in there. There was a few, you know, they're all good because they're all in the Hall of Fame. There was a few that were, you know, like with any set, there's a few guys that you'd prefer to have and not prefer to have.
Who do you want?
I think you can get Rodman in here, so it'd be ace to have a Rodman. I'm pretty sure. All right, seal is broken, ladies and gentlemen. And look, he does a great job. Like, look at this. I believe this is a little drawer that comes out. Hang on, because there's a tab here.
Might have to cut it on both sides, or
yeah, well done, Doma. Good job there, buddy. All right. Oh, I need something to put on top, mate. I can't ruin it. Hang on. I've got some AFL cards here, so let me just slide that on top of that one. All right, because I don't want to ruin it. All right, here we go. First one off the ranks. All right, Bernard King. I got a Bernard King, Doma.
Yeah, nice.
I've got the
play for the Knickerbockers.
Yeah, I'll take it off. I don't know what the other one is. I've got another card. There you go. There it is there. Bernard King.
Nice.
I'm not sure if it has a numbering on it. Here we go. No, number to 25. 4 of 25. So Bernard King.
Oh, here we go. We've got to slow roll the next one. Just try not to read the back, mate. Block it with your hand.
Well, there's no back. I've got a Tom Powell card in front of it.
North Melbourne
card. It was the first thing that was next to me.
No, that's good. That's a good omen. Got a North player.
All right, here we go. Oh, yes! Come on! Let's go! The worm with the inscription. 4 of 5! 4 of 5! Let's go! Come on!
Well done. That's elite.
I couldn't have called it any better. Come on! 4 of 5, Doma.
That's elite. With the worm inscription on the card, man. That's sick.
If you don't mind. Yes. Come on.
That's sick.
And that was the one guy that I said I wouldn't mind to get a Rodman. And look, you know what's so good about getting it in this box? So the way he did this, because Rodman, especially the inscriptions, they usually go for around $600 to $700 when he sells them, right? This box was only $250 or $300. So, you know, in essence, I've got what would usually be if he was to sell them direct, you know, the way he usually does it and not in the box format. That's about a $600 to $700 card, Dom.
That's banger, man.
If not more.
That's so good.
I've got that card. Plus, I've got the Bernard King, which was, you know, the kicker. But how good is that? How good is that? 4 of 5. The worm.
The inscription is elite.
With the inscription.
He does a great job. It's just fitting. 5 years. Rip a Tyson Beck product.
5 years and we got it to 5, Doma. How good's that?
That's it, man. Yeah, Sauce getting juiced product from his mate Tyson.
Brett. It was a loaded box.
Yeah, 5 years, mate.
The difference is, Brett, if you actually get the loaded box, you're supposed to open it on release. That's been sitting there for months. So
yeah, it's been there for so long.
It was far from a loaded box, but you know what? It was loaded. That's a 5. I'll take it. Oh, I'm so happy with that. That's awesome. That is awesome.
The packaging's really, really well set out as well, like you said.
I apologize to the people that listen to this back and literally have their speakers blown from me screaming into my microphone, but I had to G up for that.
That's good, mate. Oh, that tops off.
What a way to
that's so sick.
To announce the 5 years.
So sick, mate. You manifested it too.
I did manifest it.
Yeah, and you had Tom Powell covering it. I told you, North Melbourne card is the... That's so good. How good is that?
Oh, I'm happy with that. You can't go wrong.
Splendor said, I saw Rodman in Pittsburgh last month at a sighting. Nice pull. That is elite. And,
add that to my Tyson Beck collection that I have.
I'm sure I'll probably get a message from Tyson because he does listen to the show weekly. So...
yeah, that was out of the Tyson Beck Basketball Hall of Fame release. Yeah, so having to snag myself a box, and I literally was the one guy out of the whole set that I would really wanted to get. The fact that I got the inscription, got the number to 5. It couldn't have been scripted any better. Literally.
On that note, on a high, keep living, loving, and breathing sport. I'm Dom with the Great Man Sauce, pulling heat.
Yes. Let's
Peace
go.
out to the next 5 years, baby.
For the next 5. Yep. Catch you, ladies and gents.
Thank you for tuning in. Please don't forget to leave a review on the Apple Podcasting app. Also, follow us on socials, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Talking all sports. Double curve.